There are many major types of poverty in the world that need to be solved.
A big piece of poverty in the United States is Native American poverty, especially in reservations.
Poverty on the reservations is a big problem that we Americans tend to avoid in modern-day society. When the Europeans came to America, they stormed in on the Indians' sacred grounds. The Indians were not happy about this and decided to fight for their land, but unfortunately lost.
Europeans tried to kill off the Native American culture after this victory by putting them on concentration camps called reservations. They also tried to strip their children of their beliefs and religion. This created poverty for the natives because they never had trade or technology, and the little that they did have in their possession was taken away.
From then on, the natives were responsible for all of their technology and resources such as water and food. Most Native Americans can't even come close to affording water.
About every 3 to 4 days, Native American people have to go to a local water pump for water.
Federal law says that each reservation is its own distinct nation with limited dependence on the U.S. government or the state within which they are located, but they are still technically a part of the U.S. government.
This means that Native Americans also have to pay federal income taxes. The U.S. government said that they would provide public safety, healthcare, and education. Despite this agreement, they don't. It might help if there were laws requiring the government to do this, or at least the reservations didn't have to pay taxes.
People still argue that America should freely help the Indians with gaining back their wealth. They should also provide opportunities to get a better life on the reservations.
These days, Native Americans live in really bad conditions on the reservations. There are 90,000 homeless, and 30% of the homes are overcrowded. 50% of the Native Americans' homes do not have sewage pipes, and 40% of the houses aren't up to the house standards. Sometimes, 3 generations live in 2-bedroom houses.
Healthcare only covers 60% of healthcare needs. It is also 60% more likely for an infant to die on the reservation than an infant not on the reservation.
There are very few jobs on the reservations. Usually the head of the household has to leave the reservation in search of a job to help the family, and the grandparents have to take care of the children. 4 to 8 out of 10 adults are unemployed.
They have the lowest employment rate of any ethnic group.
The main way Native Americans make money is through casinos. Casinos don't support the whole Native American nation, and so even families that work at casinos don't make very much money. They also have many different grants, but these grants do have an end date, and it's a challenge to keep them coming.
Most families make $10,000 a year. This is a very small fraction of what other ethnic groups make a year.
In some reservations, 80% of the money leaves the reservation within 72 hours.
This money is usually spent on alcohol and drugs outside the reservations.
A lot of families are poor and unemployed, so the adults drink and become alcoholics.
When the police catch people drinking, the police send them to jail for 10 hours, but they don't get fined because nobody has money to pay the fine.
There is also a high crime rate on the reservations. Since families are so poor, Native Americans have to steal from the stores nearby to get the basic essentials for living.
Kids on the reservation also face problems.
Less than 1/3 of Native Americans graduate high school.
It's not only the students who are facing educational issues. The schools are not doing too well themselves either.
Buildings with leaky roofs and broken windows create a hard environment for students to work and concentrate in.
The reason schools are so run down is because they don't have enough money to support the students, the exploration of learning, and the school itself very much.
An example of the difficulties in the reservations is the North Dakota pipeline.
The Badlands, a lot of uranium mining happening up there, watersheds poisoned, and that's why the pipeline is so crucial. The stand at Standing Rock is so crucial because even though the pipeline is running outside of the reservation, it's still running through, and it has already destroyed sacred burial grounds. And it's running underneath the river, which supplies the reservation with water. When, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when that pipeline does leak or rupture, it will pollute the river and it will destroy the drinking water for the tribe. It will literally kill the reservation.
Native Americans hate the pipeline for many reasons. One, because it goes right through the reservation and they will have to move out of its way. And if the pipeline breaks, pollution will flood into the Native Americans' water source. As we learned, it's hard for Native Americans to get water in general, so poisoning the water source is a bad idea.
The North Dakota pipeline is supposed to transport barrels of oil, but it is bringing a problem with it. Life on the reservations is tough, and Native Americans have many hard times.
Nobody really thinks about the Native American and how they live. We need to find a way to help these people and get them out of poverty.
To help today, visit nrcprograms.org and go to their new website to learn more and donate to Reservations.